Welcome everybody to the VFL Super Bowl 13 pregame show. I'm Zach Orange. Alongside me is Gooey Penguin and Smalls. Today we'll be going over everything you need to know before the kickoff of Super Bowl 13. How are you guys doing today?
Doing well. How about you?
Pretty good myself. How about you, Smalls?
I'm doing really well.
So anyways, let's start by going over the previous two games. First game we had was the Chiefs versus the Steelers. A big shootout until the very end. Smalls, what do you think of the game?
The game was very interesting, with the Steelers actually like keeping close, and then the Chiefs just obviously came out on top, and
Gui, what's your thoughts on the game?
Well, I thought it was a real good game. I think it showed that both teams had vulnerability, but obviously the only vulnerability that mattered was the Chiefs' inability to stop the lobs, which the Seahawks really succeeded at in their game against the 49ers.
Was it? It was definitely a great game on both sides. And was it the Seahawks? Was it definitely the surprise after upsetting the 49ers? It was probably the biggest upset in VFL playoff history. I mean, was it you had Chove, who had a bunch of scrambles, which is arguably one of the top keys of the Seahawks offense. But you also saw the Seahawks have a star receiver in Zolo. What's your thoughts on Zolo so far, Gooey?
Yeah, they did a really good job, the Seahawks, of being able to manage on defense and offense. Enough big plays, and they won. They got to make a lot more big plays today to win the championship.
Yeah, was it? I think one big thing that we can take difference is how potent the Chiefs' defense is. I mean, they're able to make a lot of stops headed by. They were able to make a lot of plays headed by their whole defensive unit. I mean, you had Choco, you had Sky, and you had Hawk making big plays. I mean, it's definitely one of the best defensive units in the league as of right now. And to
Oh, yeah,
talk
for
about
sure.
it, I mean, Sky, he's arguably the number one player in the league, winning MVP. I mean, what's your thoughts on the MVP, Small?
the MVP is very like earned. He's been in 11 Super Bowls now, is it? And he's just dominating the league. He cannot be stopped.
Mm-hmm. What's it? Sky's one of those players who's always been one of the top since the very beginning. I mean, if you just look at him over his career, he was in the first Super Bowl, and then even though he lost it, he didn't give up. He's kept on going. And he's made pretty much every Super Bowl since then, except now he's here in Super Bowl 13, and he has to deal with the MVP curse. You want to go over that a little more, Gooey?
Yeah, I think it's just a series of unlucky events, really. I just think it's coincidental. I think it has anything to do with skill. The past few seasons, C won a few MVPs, but C has kind of prevented any curse from coming true. But, really just a great job by Sky this season. First MVP in a while, but the question is, can you follow up with his first championship in a while?
Yeah, was it? Sky's been in a championship drought for at least the past 3 to 4 seasons. I mean, he hasn't been as effective in the playoffs as he has been. I mean, you could almost say that he's had a lot of unfortunate situations happen to him in the playoffs. But now he's here. I mean, who do you think is his main receiver, Small, on that Chiefs offense?
The Chiefs offense. I mean, you have very good wide receivers and like Hawk, and many others that I just can't remember right now. But there are very good wide receivers on that Chiefs offense. It's going to be very hard for them to beat.
Was it? I mean, comparing to the Seahawks. I mean, was it? What's your thoughts on the wide receiver core for the Seahawks? Do we have Jeriquise and Zolo? What makes
Well, Derek
them
Wood
a super
definitely
bowl?
improved. He still needs to fix up his lob catching,
Mm-hmm.
he still needs to improve his lob catching. And Zola has done a really good job coming from the VCA. He won the Wiseman. He has a really good deep route, good cutouts. He has all the prototypes to be a really good receiver in this league.
I mean, was it just looking back? Zolo, he's had so many like big plays so far, and I mean, was it? It's just been very interesting to see how much Zolo has been able to actually do. I mean, he's been easily one of the best, if not the best, receiver in the playoffs so far. He's made so many big plays on the lob for the Seahawks. I mean, he's almost been carrying their offense. But the other thing carrying the Seahawks offense is Chove and his scrambling. Anyone want to make a comment on that?
Yeah, Trove scrambling is definitely one of his best traits. He has to scramble a lot today. You've got Hawk at DT, and Hawk's a really good pass rusher, but if he can make enough moves, I think he can exploit something there. But the main matchup I'm watching today is the Seahawks. Some of this. They're trying to get Zolo off of Sky. If they can get Zolo on choke on 1-on-1 and allow Jared Quist just to isolate Sky, that's how they can win the game. They need Zolo to schematically get open.
Yeah, I really agree with his statement there. You have Chove who can scramble, throw lobs, and perfectly throw good passes. And you got Jay Requise and Zolo. The two really good wide receivers for the Seahawks. They're going to be hard to beat for the.
And the most interesting thing about the Seahawks is they're a team full of rookies. None of them have had a Super Bowl appearance. Most of them have only been in the league for this season. I mean, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how a team of rookies match up to a team of well-earned veterans. I mean, what do you think could be the biggest struggle for the rookies, Gooey?
Biggest struggle for the rookies is just going to be in the game. I think that's where Mr. Canes is going to come in handy. He's a veteran. He's been in this game before. He has a lot of clutch genes, and I think he should be on the field today starting. I think combination of Canes and Zoll would be perfect. It's a big game. It doesn't. I know before the game you kind of feel the cheers and you kick off. It's like, okay, we're going. I remember first drive every Super Bowl. You feel kind of shaky. You probably mess up. I'll take my odds that the first quarter is a really slow game, just really slow defensive game, or it could just go cheap. It's either going to go really slow defensive or the Chiefs just start stacking up points, and either could happen.
I mean, I think that's a great point. I think the key for the game, you could almost argue, is the Chiefs, their offense. If they can make this game a shootout, I think the Chiefs has the game by a long shot. But if you're making this a long battle with defensive stops, I think the Seahawks have a pretty good chance of winning. What's your thoughts?
No, I think if I'm the Seahawks, I'm going to get a shot. I want to make a high score. The Chiefs have struggled in these high-scoring games. If you're the Chiefs, you just wouldn't get as many points on the board as possible as soon as possible. You don't want to make it close like the Niners. The Niners kept it close. They had chances to put the game away. They didn't take it. If I'm the Chiefs, I'm coming at ball. I'm taking shots, and I'm trying to put the game away immediately. If you get in a shootout, I'm not sure you can win that against the Seahawks.
What's your thoughts, Small?
Yeah, the Seahawks have people like Chove and Zill who have clutched up many, many times in the VCAA and the VFL. So that's going to be very interesting for the Chiefs to handle if it gets into a very close game.
I mean, I think that's very interesting to see since Zolo and Chove has been the go-to connection for the Seahawks. But of course, you're going to see that Zolo's going to be matched up most likely against Sky all game. So, Gooey, how important do you think the second wide receiver is going to be for the Seahawks?
They definitely have to make some plays, especially in this game. The second wide receiver. There's always one point in the Super Bowl they kind of breakouts. It's how Prince Charles started. That's how I kind of started Super Bowl V. Those breakout plays. There's gonna be one part today that nobody really expects that comes out there and has a hell of a game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's gonna definitely be a game of, can either A, Zolo get open for the Seahawks, or B, can the Seahawks' second wide receiver take advantage of the matchup against the Chiefs' corner, most likely Choco, we would have to assume. I mean, it's going to be a matchup game all night to see just exactly what are the Chiefs going to do to stop Zolo. I mean, Small,
Yes.
if you're the coach of the Chiefs, what do you do to stop Zolo?
So I would be very how do I say this? Very aware that he can run deep any other time and not just be just focused on staying short with him. Sure, he's a really good short route runner, but he's a very good deep route runner. So you got to be very ready for that and just be ready.
I mean, let's also talk about, what are the key takeaways that we're going to get from this game? What are we going to have to see from each team other than just the key plays, the offensive tempo? What is going to be the make or break for the game? Gooey, let's start with you.
My key for the Chiefs is to force turnovers. Don't keep it close. Pressure Joe if you struggle against pressure. If you can pressure him, get the ball away, stop his scramble, I think they'll be fine. And for the Seahawks, make it close, make it a shootout. Big plays, go aggressive. That's how you can win this game.
Small,
I
what's your
agree.
thoughts?
Just keep it close. I mean, if the Seahawks need to keep it close, but the Chiefs pull away, I think it's the game.
I agree.
Now let's go over our score predictions Gui, let's start with you. What's your prediction on the game?
So my prediction for the game, I have, unfortunately for the Seahawks fans and the Pumpkin fans, I have the Kansas City Chiefs winning by about 48-39. Gets close towards the end, but I think the Chiefs make a few defensive plays, put the game away. I have the MVP being Hawk. I have him getting 2 interceptions and 3 sacks.
Mm-hmm. Small, what's your prediction for the game?
My prediction, I already shared this in the VFL Discord. I have the champion being the Chiefs and the MVP Sky, from the score being 76-56.
Mm-hmm. What is it? I think I'm definitely the biggest doubter on the Seahawks. I have the Chiefs winning with the MVP being Sky, and the final score being 52-35 for the Chiefs. So, what is it? I think that's all we have for the pregame show. So, thank you everybody for tuning in. Super Bowl 13 coming up right around the corner at the top of the hour. Make sure to tune in on the
Our
Emerald
halftime
Place
show.
things. Oh yeah, with small kids being there for the halftime show. So make sure
And Raw.
Oh yeah, and Raul, my bad. So server closed.
Restart.
So
That's a restart.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank
When
you
you
for
wrap it up,
yeah,
tune
thank
in.
you for